Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Welcome to A Couple More Minutes podcast, where two veterans of the animation and video game industry talk about exactly that, animation in video games. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Jeff Gabor, and alongside me, as always, is...
Pete Paquette.
Oh yeah. We are back, the Quantum Assurance Board, where we're going to take a look back at Nintendo's Rescue the Embassy mission video game, and we'll decide if it deserves the Nintendo seal of approval it carries on its package. But first, as always, we have our popular game, Stump Pete, where I give 3 retro video games, and Pete attempts to guess the games that occur from 40, 30, and 25 years ago. Are you ready, Pete?
I'm ready.
All right, we are going to start with 40 years ago. May 1985. Roberta Williams designs and writes the sequel to a popular point-and-click franchise.
Are we talking NES here or just anything?
No. These. Let's see, how many of these are NES? This is not NES. Point-and-click. Definitely not NES. I'll give you that.
Okay. I don't know.
All right, it features this music.
Green sleeves.
It is green sleeves. You did nail that. But one of these, this particular game, its first and second edition, this is its opening song.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, we will move on to the third and final clue. This features King Graham in his adventure to rescue a woman named Valenice.
I don't know. King's Quest?
There you go. It's a sequel, though.
It's the sequel to it?
Yeah, yep, exactly. So King's Quest 2. King's Quest 2. So that is Sierra. Roberta Williams famously wrote a lot of those games. All right, we'll go with game number 2 here. November 1995. Shiny Entertainment releases this sequel, again, another sequel, to this action platformer that features a very strong animation aesthetic as the protagonist seeks to rescue Princess What's-Her-Name from the Psychro.
Princess What's-Her-Name?
That's actually her name in the game.
Oh. So it's a little tongue-in-cheek.
It is, yeah.
I don't know.
All right, we will play a track, the opening track from this game.
This reminds me of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. I have no idea.
No idea. All right. Final clue. The original designer and animator, Doug TenNapel, also created the Nickelodeon show Cat Scratch and the point-and-click game Neverhood. He's also a crazy right-wing conspiracy nut, but that's beside the point.
I know who he is. I know he did Earthworm Jim.
And a sequel to that would be called
Earthworm Jim 2.
You got it. Nice job, Pete. Nice job. Oh boy, it's getting rough on this one. All right, this one I think you got in the bag. All right. February 2000. This simulation game has you manage the daily lives of virtual humans in a suburban setting.
SimCity?
Not quite. Features this sound.
No, no.
It was a game by Maxis and featured the simulation of...
Oh, Civilization?
Not Civilization. It also created many, many, many sequels. It's a simulation game.
It's not Sim City.
No. Think
Sim
more humans.
Sim Earth.
Man, no. You're swimming around it. You're just swimming around it.
Let's see. Sim Human? I don't know. I don't know.
It's so much easier than just The Sims.
Oh, The Sims. Oh,
The Sims. There you go. Hey,
I know The
all right.
Sims a little bit. I had a house once and I burned it down in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was about my extent of playing The Sims. I was much more of a SimCity guy. I never really liked The Sims. Anyways, I found out in researching it that it is considered within the top 50 of games all time in terms of like I think the U.S. Smithsonian or whatever. It was named number 31 in terms of all time list of video games, which is an insane stat.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't even really like it, but okay.
So many people play those games.
Yeah, I think it honestly it got a lot of praise because it brought in a whole different generation of people, and specifically it appealed to girls and women a lot more than it did boys, because it's like it stressed more like relationships and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
family life, that kind of thing. All right, Pete, are you ready for a little video game news?
let's do it.
All right, we'll start with South Park opened up its 27th season. Outside of the talking about the fact that it featured a ton of the controversy around Donald Trump and all that craziness, which was absolutely insane, the part I wanted to focus on was the last scene in the show featured an entire section that was all artificial, like all AI content. Right down to like every little part of the motion. Like, so in a very popular mainstream animated show used an entire
Why did
section
they choose to use AI?
Like, well, I mean, what it literally was a true, real depiction of Donald Trump getting an erection. So I don't think you could actually. It's not like a cartoon version. It's like supposed to look like as if they filmed it.
That's disturbing.
So I don't think it's disturbing. It's disturbing. Yeah, and it literally shows a teeny tiny little pecker on him, and it was funny. Like they asked, or like Trey and Matt Stone, whatever, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they were talking about their executive calls, and you remember like when we were back working on feature film, like the notes you get from executives were
bonkers.
Insane. Like, oh my god, they were like that. We had, just to reminisce a little bit. Do you remember that we had an entire thing on Horton where one of the characters put their hand up Horton's trunk, and we got an executive note that said that was like too phallic or something. And we had to like change that entire animation. Like, it was just like, what? Like, it's okay. Like, nobody else is reading that, but okay. So anyways, here's a little thing. It says, so we love the episode. So that's what happened. And they're like, okay, but we're gonna blur the penis, which is an insane note to get, that they want you to blur the penis. And then they stood up and said, no, they're absolutely not going to blur the penis. And instead, what they did is they added eyes to the penis. So it became a character rather than an actual physical body part. But I'm telling you, the eyes are so small that you can't, I had to pause it, and which is a sick thing to do. So I paused it, zoomed in on Donald Trump's cock. And then I was like, what is that thing on there? And I was like, oh, it's two little eyeballs. Oh my god. And then it starts talking. Okay. So insane. Jeez. But again, it's like the bigger story is to me, and obviously not what other people are talking about, is the fact that like a mainstream TV show used an entire section for AI not with animators, and for an animated show. And it's like, wow, we're in a new era here. Like, this is it. This is how it's going down. It's going to start with South Park.
Yeah, I got a someone contacted me today on LinkedIn, in fact, and asked me if I wanted to join a team of people that are training AI.
Yep, those
And
offers are going around.
and I didn't reply because I didn't want to say the wrong thing.
I was at a party just a couple months ago, and I was talking to this guy. I didn't previously know him, but I knew he worked for, was it Nickelodeon for a while. Anyways, he was telling me that he now works for a company that is training AI models for animation. And he's strictly against AI, but one, it's like, if you can't beat them, join them. And then the other part he was saying is like, he had a lot of like ethical demands. He said, I'll take the job and help you train, but we have to do it under these ethical guidelines. And so he took the job, but then, you know, he says the stuff that they are turning around is scaring him to death. It's just like, this is a guy that, you know, spent 20, 30 years like we did in animation, and the stuff he's seeing is blowing his mind. And it's like, oh God, it's all coming. It's coming, man.
Yep.
All right. Outside of that scary reality, I saw a news story that just made me think of you. So there's a whole TV show called Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I've heard of it.
It's a new Star Trek series. But what caught my eye is they sometimes do these one-off episodes, like a musical or a very different stylized type of version of a show. And apparently they teased at Comic-Con a whole episode that's going to basically use Jim Henson type of puppets for the entire episode. And it's going to be directed by Jordan Canning, who did the Fraggle Rock, Back to Rock. And I don't know if you saw the clip, but it's pretty good. Like, I mean, well,
Yeah.
pretty good as in it's like, it's nice to see an actual Muppet move around and talk again. You know, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was refreshing.
Yeah.
And the humor's on point too.
Yep.
You know.
So it'd be great to catch that. I haven't watched any of the show, but just that would get me curious, and I'd like to check it out. Outside of that, the Switch 2 had its actually second big video game release. You know, they've done most of the games that are available on the Switch 2 are just ports or updates or, yeah, mostly ports. So there's like Mario Kart, and then now they finally released Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Man, I want to play that so bad.
I have it on my shelf here. I just haven't had time. Its Metacritic score is 91. And its sales are keeping up with Mario Kart, which is crazy. It's not as much. I mean, and how could it? Because, you know, Mario Kart for half the systems are pack-in. Like,
It's bundled, yeah.
Yeah, how are you going to keep? You can't. Whatever game is bundled with a system, that's the best seller. That's how they get the numbers. But yeah, I'm looking forward to firing that up. I don't know. Have you been playing anything lately?
I've just been playing the Rescue Embassy mission.
All right. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a quick hot minute. But I was going to say, like, the reason why I haven't been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza is, man, I got re-hooked into Hollow Knight. And just
Really?
My goodness, like, I was just loading it up to fire it up to do some, like, you know, I like to fire up different games that are inspirational, and I'm trying to understand, like, why does this feel good? Why does this do whatever it's doing so well?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got hooked and just kept playing it and kept playing it and kept playing it. That game is legitimately, I think, the best Metroidvania that's ever been made. It's so good.
I've never played it.
I mean, that's the thing about I'd have a tough time recommending it if you get frustrated with difficulty, because that game is tough as nails.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's punishing. It punishes you, like, because, you know, it's basically the platformer version of Dark Souls in the fact that, like, when you die, you lose all your inventory and you have to go back. But yeah, it is tough, but so satisfying. And the world is built so well, and the music is great, the animation's great, the character design is great. The environment is out of this world, and it just keeps building on itself and building and building and building. Yeah, I really dig it.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Well, since you have been playing a ton of Rescue, why don't we take a leap back in time, play a little music, and we'll reconvene as the Quantum Assurance Board. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Welcome to the hearings of the Quantum Assurance Board, where we have been sent back in time to make right what once went wrong and determine for all time whether Nintendo's 1989 Rescue, the Embassy Mission game, deserves the Nintendo seal of quality it boasted to earn. Our judgment will be based, as always, on 4 categories: graphics, sound, technical mechanics, and the fun factor. What say you, Pete, of Rescue Embassy graphics?
Well, I have a few things I want to say just as like a primer.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the primer.
Okay.
I think that's good. Let's give it its opening statement.
So the game was a port of a French computer game called Hostages by Infogrames, or Infogrames. I don't know how to say that.
I didn't know it was French. That totally went by me.
Yeah. For $6, you really can't go wrong with this one. $6.
It's $6 now, we're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no real narrative other than the crude opening cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forgot. The reason why we did this is because the last time we had a Quantum Insurance episode, you mentioned this in the opening part of the episode as one of the games under $10 that you would pick up, right?
Yeah, I had a list of like a top 6 list.
Right. Okay.
I actually forgot to do another top 6 list.
Well,
damn it.
Damn. We have another Shoot the Ass episode coming up, so maybe we can stick it in there.
Yeah, we will. We will. But graphics, like the graphics feel solid to me. Like, you know, the sprites are large and clear.
That is unusual for the NES. I did take note of that. Yeah.
But the animation is poor.
It's limited. Like, they just don't have a whole lot of frames, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's very staccato motion. Like, I don't know. And the game is like split up into like 3 very different sections. Actually, almost 4. I mean, it is 3, but it almost feels like 4 in terms of how the mechanics are worked. You basically have this like side-scrolling version at the beginning where you're trying to dodge these spotlights, and you have this team, and you're trying to place your different characters in different sniper positions.
Yeah.
But they're basically just running on the street, trying not to get hit by spotlights.
Right. Occasionally you'll get a stray and
Yep.
and you'll eat it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And then you go into this section. Once your snipers are placed, you play as the snipers, and you can shoot out windows and kill enemies that you see through the windows.
I was gonna say it's pretty cool that like when you, depending upon where you put your repelling, the guy that repels, if you shot out that window, it's out.
Oh
like
yeah.
You know, it remembers that.
Yeah, there's a bit of attention to detail there. I mean, and the consequence of you not having enough snipers placed and not using them properly is that then it's much harder for your other guys to rappel down the building and break in through the window. Which is the second half of that second part, which is like you then have all your team, they come down in a helicopter in a little cutscene. They're on top of the building, and then they have to break into the building. But that is much more difficult if your snipers haven't done their job. And then the third section, it turns into a first-person shooter, which is insane for a Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's like, if anybody's ever played Goonies 2 or Fester's Quest, it's similar to that in that you're kind of like...
But it's not as clunky.
It's not. And you know what made it not? Is the map.
Yeah.
The map was really good.
Yep.
Where, man, I did not... Whether it was like Friday the 13th or Goonies 2 or whatever, however you're like navigating, it's so clunky in those things. Like I didn't know where I was going and turning, and it's like, what? Where am I? I don't know. But this actually made a whole lot of sense. But the graphics... there's yeah, no, go ahead.
Sorry, there's a graphics note is that there's actually blood in the game.
Yeah, how did they get away with that?
I don't know. But
yeah,
you shoot the hostages. No, not the hostages. You shoot the terrorists, and they bleed.
Yeah, you get a big red splatter on the screen. It's crazy. I mean, it's not huge, but it's enough that you shot them. Like that's how you got them is blood sprays. Yeah, it's crazy. There was none of that in any game. Like there's just a couple games that just got past the censors.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall that section looks really nice. No, yeah, I was just gonna say that third section in terms of like the large sprites again. You have the enemies looking around. They move a little clunky, but how you're able to actually go from room to room to room, and it always reminded me of like, and that's probably why I put so many like point and click references in the opening thing. But it looks like those old school, early Commodore type graphics of like line art, like very vector, almost like I don't know how to explain it, but very large flat colors all strung together.
Yep.
It definitely feels of the 80s for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I give a pass on the graphics. I think they did it for what it is. It all reads and it's very well done.
Yeah, I would too. That's my 2 cents on that.
All right, then moving on to sound. How about sound?
All right, sound. Music was made by Hiroyuki Masuno. He did Spy vs. Spy in 1986. He did Deja Vu in 1988. He did The Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle in 1989.
Is that the same one where maybe that's Birthday Blowout? One of those games, it was a Roger Rabbit video game in the other half of the world, and it's a Bugs Bunny game here, but obviously they share the same music. Anyways, I can't remember which one it is.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's Crazy Castle, though.
He did Shadowgate in 1989. And Uninvited in 1989 as well.
Okay, his skills got way better than that by then, because those two games have great music.
Yeah, the music on this game, I actually kind of like how it is interactive based on what you're doing. So like you're like hiding, right? And the music is like really quiet and soft. And then you jump out, it's like, and then it like gets super loud, and you're running in the streets for your life, and like the music's like loud, and then you jump back behind a wall or something, and it slows back down again, quiets down again.
That's funny that you took it that way. Like I got it. Like it would almost scare the crap out of me because it would be like so quiet and devoid of all sounds, and then you'd just get to a new section and the music would just kick in. It took me by surprise a couple times.
Yeah, I liked it, and I think the track that plays when you're actually like in the building is
Mhm.
pretty intense. It matches the intensity nicely.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think I had a bit of a problem with the sound effects of the game. Like they were pretty flat, and man, that opening section of the game, the spotlights, and you mentioned it earlier. Sometimes you'll just get a stray bullet. It's like I could never tell, not just visually about the bullets, but when they would hit you, and then the sound effects. Is like, did this hit me? Did this hit a wall? And then it took me a while when I was doing the sniper section. You'd blast out the windows, and I'd swear I'd hit the person. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But then I found out the only real indicator to know if you hit somebody is there's just a small, high pitched note that plays like a little ping that you got them. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I guess that is the sound of someone's head being snapped apart by a bullet. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. They could have definitely found some other way to communicate with audio that what was going on in those sections.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The sound effects were kind of lackluster.
All right. Anything else to say about the music?
Uh, Not really. I think that's everything I wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean the helicopter music, like when it came in, it starts to almost get into that realm of like a nice Konami beat in there. I don't know, I dug that.
Yeah.
All right, technical.
All right. So for me, the game is simple, rather like an Atari game where you only have where your only game options are difficulty.
Right.
So like once you play through the first time, like on the easiest level,
Mm-hmm.
the last level is pretty much the same exact thing, only a hell of a lot faster and more intense, more enemies. Um, but it's foundationally the same thing.
Yeah, I was at, so when you start the game, you're greeted with this option window, and it's separated into two sections, and it is vague unless you read the manual. Like you get an option between choosing: are you a lieutenant, a captain, or a commander? You're like, okay, I don't know. Maybe what do I want to be? I don't know. Does that refer to the gameplay? Like, am I a different character? Is it a different stage? I don't know what I'm choosing here. And then it goes into the other set of options that you can choose from is training, target, ultimatum, trigger, and Jupiter. And I'm like, okay, are these different missions? I guess I go to. I don't know. Maybe a different level again. Maybe there's different parts of something. I wasn't sure what it was. And this is where it's like you have to remember with all these old NES games, you have to read the manual. Like it's a prerequisite at the time. And then you learn, oh, so the training and the lieutenant, the captain, the commander are your difficulty settings, and they determine like the way the spotlights move, how fast they move, how hard the enemies are to kill. And then really those different settings of training, target, ultimatum, trigger, and Jupiter are related to how much time you have to do each one of these missions.
Oh, really? That's the time?
Yeah. I think it
Oh,
does.
wow.
because I kept switching the settings and not being really good about telling what was affecting what. But I know it's like in the first, like I think it's the training one, when you go into that final map, the map shows you where the hostages are and shows you where the enemies are. But then once you put it all the way up on, you're on Captain and you're playing Jupiter, that map is empty. All it does is you have a little indicator saying how many hostages are left on each level of this building. Because there's like stairs you go up and down. So you're like, okay, I got 3 hostages on this level, 3 hostages on this level. But you have to scour each room and look around each corner of the room to try to find the hostage in the amount of time. So you're like freaking out trying to fly as fast as possible. And basically, I don't know. It was a good thing this game wasn't quite like Hogan's Alley where you could kill the hostages. Like I'd go into every room and just start spraying bullets. I didn't have enough reaction time to know whether it was a hostage or an enemy or if there's nobody there. So I would just constantly just I'd go in with guns blazing on every screen.
Yeah, you have unlimited bullets, you know.
Yeah. So might as well just start spraying it. Yeah, I don't know. It I didn't like the fact it was set up that way, but as soon as I realized that it was all within the manual, I forgave it. And then I still am very impressed about the first person shooter part of the game. Like it's just you don't get that kind of experience very often back in what did we say 1989? What was it? Yeah, 1989. Yeah, that's crazy.
However, the rappelling is awful.
What were they thinking?
I can't even describe it. Like you have this huge character on the screen going down the starting to go down the side of a building. And the only way I was ever able to really make it work was like push up and down as fast as I possibly could.
Yep.
To prevent, because like if you push down for too long, which isn't very long at all.
No, less than 2 seconds.
It falls. Your character falls and dies.
Yeah.
So you have to really, really like just sit there and really, really like I don't know, toggle the up and down as fast as you can, and you go down at like a snail's pace. Yeah, and then once you get to a window, you hit the A button and you're in.
I don't know how many times I played through, and I'd be so patient. I'm like, down, up, down, up, down, up. And you finally get to the window, and you're like, all right. And you try to kick it, and you realize you're a little too high. You're like, okay, I need to get down one little more. And then I fall all the way off the building. And I'm like, God. God. Happened to me so often.
Worst part of the game, hands down.
And maybe it was just my controller, but I swear to God, it kept dropping my up input. I'd press down and I'd press up and I'd be like, up, 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 come on, up. And then the character would fly off again. I'm like, I pressed up. Anyways, it's still forgiving because you have like, how many? 4 characters? You have like 4 characters to try to get into the building. And it's just like, you only need 1 to get in there. Like, the only bad part of that is like, once you beat the game, you're left with this screen that basically it's like a good ending, bad ending type of scenario. Like, did you rescue the hostages? Did you do it in time? If you did do it in time, how many of your men made it? And you really only get the good ending if every single one of your snipers was placed properly, every single one of your men made it into the building. I think if you make it into the building, you don't have to do it again, right? But you do it on your first try. And then you make sure all the hostages are saved in the time. So,
yeah,
not easy to do.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It is a challenge.
Speaking of it, so I've looked up the world record speed run of this thing. To do all those sections on the hardest difficulty, the world record does it in 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
Are you kidding?
Isn't that nuts? Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Anyway, so what say you about fun factor?
Okay, so the parts I find fun I have fun running in the streets. I do. I had fun with that.
Mhm.
Clearing floors is an awful lot of fun.
Yep.
And sniping is kind of stale, and by comparison,
Sure.
and repelling is awful, like we already said.
Yeah. 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 Um, the only thing I have against the fun factor is just the game is so short on content. It's
Yeah,
like once you play through those 3 sections a couple times, and I'm telling you, you can do that. Once you know what you're doing, you're like, you got the hang of the game. You're playing through the game multiple times in a half-hour period, um, and it doesn't really change, like you said. It's just like slightly the difficulty changes, and not even in a way that you're like you really notice it. It's just like things are slightly faster, and then those spotlights. I started getting good at those because they basically seem like they're on a predetermined path, and where the bullets spray you is predetermined. So you're like, oh, this one will never hit me if I roll through it. This one will never hit me if I run through it. This one, I need to wait for it to pass and then go there, and then it'll never hit me. And it was like,
yeah.
okay, once you memorize that, you could just start flying through the game. So in that way, like, yeah, like, did you say you owned this growing up?
I did.
How often did you play it? Because like this feels like a rental to me.
Well, it it started as a rental. Um, uh, we rented it from one of my. I was at my friend's birthday parties, and he had it. He had it rented, and I liked it so much that I ended up going to Funko Land and getting a copy for like, I don't know, maybe $10 at the time.
Oh wow.
The game was because the game probably wasn't more than $20 brand new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, so yeah, I owned it.
Okay. I was so curious about that because I feel like just the content isn't there. Because I don't know, like it is a decent game and it's fun to play. It just doesn't have a whole lot of meat on the bones. And and then it's like, all right, what games are like true classics on the Nintendo? And it's like, you're thinking of Contra and Metroid and Mario, and this thing doesn't necessarily stand toe to toe with those. But that's not to say it doesn't completely deserve the seal of quality because it is
Yeah,
fun. And in taken in the context of the time, it was really good. Like
yeah.
I definitely would have fun with it. Like you're getting, how often do you get a chance to like take out a sniper rifle and do first person shooter on your NES in 1989? That is not something you get to do. So you're gonna have a hell of a time playing it. Like it's gonna be fun. Um, it's one of those
Yeah,
games that doesn't stand the test of time at all, though. Definitely, I
yeah.
can't
No,
I can't get my kids to play this. There's no way.
no, it doesn't stand the test of time. However, if you are looking to start a cheap um NES collection, this one should be in there.
Hmm. Yep. If you grew up on the Nintendo, this is a good time. It's just like I can't give this to my 8 and 6-year-old and have them be like I can't be like, hey, Nintendo's got some really bangers. You got to play this Rescue, the embassy mission. They're gonna be like, what is this? There's no way. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. If we're going back in time, like we are sitting here in 1989, and we have to decide whether or not this game gets the seal of approval, what do you say?
I think it deserves it.
I'm with you. I feel kind of crazy that we did not give the seal of quality to Ninja Turtles when I loved that game and the music is so rocking, but it just is so cruel. But it's true. I think this one deserves it, and that one didn't. I think we
Yeah.
have to pass. We have to pass this one, which is our first pass.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Because
So
what was it? It was Ninja Turtles, and then it was Battletoads.
Oh God, Battletoads. Yeah, screw Battletoads. That game deserves to rot in hell. The Quantum Assurance Board hereby finds you worthy of your Nintendo seal of quality and thus deems you a crowning jewel in the NES library to be revered for all time. You are hereby expunged of any and all faults. Go and play with Rescue, the Embassy Mission. Nintendo Power.
So which one are we doing next?
I was thinking we go with something rare. Something that I have not played. I don't know how much you've played it, but it's certainly always on the top, tippy top list of people that are collecting. And we go with Taito's Panic Restaurant.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
Oh, well, we'll see if it deserves its seal of approval, because this is a late release Nintendo title.
Yeah. I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Let's do it. All right. I would love to play through it. It looks fun. All right, Pete. This has been just a couple more minutes podcast where the two of us, talk about animation video games and Donald Trump's penis. We'll catch you next time, buddy.
All right, take it easy, bro.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.